Hey guys, so we are going live, as you can see. We're gonna try basically something new out. So this is Dream Finding Through the Parks. My name is Morgan. I love all things theme park. So basically, what you see on my videos are me exploring different theme parks. It is a lot of Walt Disney World. It's, Carowinds, Universal. But I do love all the theme parks. I don't get the opportunity to come through to all the theme parks as much as I would like to. But I try to keep on top of the news and what is going on with the theme parks. On my website, I try to keep all the news up there that I do get from the different outlets. So you guys can find that on dreamfindingparks.com. But I thought that I would come on here and just kind of see, who's out there, who wants to talk, and just kind of see basically that's it. Just kind of talk to you guys. This is the first stream of 2024. Like I said, I am trying this out just to kind of see if anybody wants to chat. Probably the big news right now is for Walt Disney World fans, especially RunDisney fans. Today is the very last day of the Walt Disney World marathon weekend. If you are a runner, congratulations. It is a really hard feat to do the running this weekend. If you guys don't know about RunDisney, this weekend actually started basically last Wednesday, a day before the races start. So we're talking about Wednesday, January the 3rd. There's an expo at ESPN World of Sports that all the runners go to. They pick up their race bibs, their t-shirts. There is an expo for vendors to show off their merchandise. And of course there is Disney race merchandise. If you were running any of the races, you usually want to go obviously the day before your race. So anybody that was running Thursday, January the 4th, which was the 5K, you wanted to be there Wednesday. Now, one kind of, I guess, unique thing about the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend, it's always in January. This is, I want to say it's 26th year. And they are known for the Dopey Challenge. So, what is the Dopey Challenge? So basically, like I said, it started on the 3rd, which is Wednesday. Thursday, January the 4th was a 5K. Friday, January the 5th was a 10K. Saturday, January 6th was a half marathon, which was shortened, and I'll get into that in a moment. And then this morning, January 7th, was a full marathon. If you ran all 4 of those races, you have done a Dopey Challenge. Basically, one thing that Disney, and I think a lot of places that do these races do, is if you have run more than one race during that race weekend, you've done a challenge. And this one is just called Dopey because you got to be dopey to run all 4 of those races. Because if you think about it, 5K is 3.1 miles, 10K is 6.2, half marathon is 13.1. And a full marathon is 26.2. So that's a lot of miles to run in 4 days. So shout out to anybody who did the Dopey Challenge or even just did a race. They are fun, but it's a race. It's still challenging. So I definitely want to kind of shout out to everybody who ran those. I personally, I have done RunDisney races. I enjoy them a lot. I am more of like, okay, I'm going to run a 5K, a 10K, kind of runner. I did do the Wine and Dine, which, again, if you're not know anything about the Run Disney World and Walt Disney World, there's 4 weekends of races. They run their season November through March, April. So the first race of this 23-24 season was in November. It is called the Wine and Dine Race Weekend. It consists of the 5K, the 10K, and a half marathon. So these are done on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I did do the Walt Disney World, the 5K Wine and Dine this past November. And that's usually what I do. Is if I do one race a year with Run Disney, it's usually a 5 or a 10K. And then they have this weekend, Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. Next month in February will be the Run Disney Princess Weekend, which is also a lot of fun. And then in March, I want to say March. Let me pull up Run Disney real quick and I can show you guys. So April 3rd through the 6th is the Run Disney Springtime Surprise Weekend. This is a fairly new weekend. This year will be... Actually, no, that's 2025. So April 18th through the 21st is... 18th through the 21st is the Springtime Surprise Weekend for this year. So what does that mean? That means, like I said, it's a new weekend. This is going to be the 3rd year this year. They have changed the theme of this every single year. The very first year, which was 2022, I did do. I did the 5 and the 10K, and they were the 5K, and it was like the 5K, the Everest 5K or something like that. It was actually really cool. It was in Animal Kingdom, and it was at night. It started, I want to say like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So obviously the park is closed, full nighttime, and you did a 5K through Animal Kingdom. That's actually kind of rare for Walt Disney World. This is the only race that I'm aware of that anytime in the recent history they have done in a park besides Epcot for a 5K. So this was a really fun race to do. I should have planned better because I actually have all my medals out of arm's reach. I can show you guys the medal. It's a compass. It's super cute. And then the 10K was, it was a Remy. It was a Ratatouille themed. So I keep wanting to say Wine and Dine, but I know that wasn't the name of the race. And they did a 10-miler, Tower of Terror 10-miler. So those are the 3 races for 2022. Last year for Springtime Surprise, it was a Pixar theme. And as you guys can kind of see, I'm going to go a little smaller here. It's still 3 races. What you're seeing is 3 different photos. The Neverland 5K is obviously the 5K. Adventure is out there 10K, so you got this great up theme, Akuna Matata 10 miler, and if you do all of them, you get the Stitches Ohana challenge. So that is the one for April. And like I said, most of these races, and I'm actually looking this up right now just because of the name of the race, I want to see if they're changing it, which it doesn't look like they are changing the location. So they will usually, and I'm gonna see if, so this is the current weekend that has just happened, and I'm not sure if they have the map out. They probably won't have the map out, and I'm sure I can probably Google it. Okay, so we're gonna look at a course map, and these are probably gonna be old course maps. Like this is actually last year's, but they don't really vary that much. So most of the 5Ks are going to, this is a map of Epcot. They are going to start in the Epcot parking lot, go outside, go around. You are what they call backstage, which means that you're not in a part of the park that the normal guest sees. And then you actually come out behind Mexico. So you're actually in between Mexico and Norway. But you literally come right out beside the building in Mexico. You go around World Showcase, and for the second mile, this sometimes is a little bit different. I've ran them where you don't go over here to like past the Skyliner and everything like that. Ones I've run, you just go around World Showcase and basically out Epcot and finish again in the Epcot parking lot. That's kind of a standard race. So if you do a 5K, 9 times out of 10, you're running in Epcot. Now this is, the race starts at 5 o'clock in the morning, which is awesome. It is really cool because typically, depending on obviously time of year and sunrise and all that, sometimes you are in the park when the sun is rising in Epcot, which that's just a really cool thing to see. So let's see. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. Okay. So again, that's just like a really cool thing to see. The 10K, which again, let's see if we can Google that. Okay. Let's see if I can get a bigger. Okay, so this was actually the map for this one that was Friday, the 10K. So again, you always start in the Epcot parking lot. You go out, this one, because like I said, you're doing a little bit more mileage. You start in a different direction. Kind of go up the ramp. You are on the roads. Now traffic is, of course, sectioned off. No, you don't have to worry about cars driving by you or anything like that. And then you go up to where the buses are, backstage a little bit, and then you get into Epcot. One kind of cool thing with the 10K, because again, you are covering more miles. You actually go into Epcot, then out, and you go back into back towards the Skyliner. Let's see if it'll. Oh, cool! It'll zoom. Which, by the way, shout out to magicofrunning.com. This is where I'm finding all these maps. So, like I said, you go out of Epcot. Here is the Skyliner right here. Hopefully, you guys can see my mouse. You actually run by Yacht and Beach Club, go on the bridge over to Boardwalk, and then through Boardwalk, back into Epcot, around World Showcase, back into over where Guardians and all that is, go backstage, and then again out at the Epcot parking lot. I have run some 10K where you actually did go through Hollywood Studios as well. It's really just, I guess, what they're trying to schedule and how they're scheduling it. So that is a 10K. And then let's see if they've got the half on here. So this, okay, now one thing I do want to say is, so this is the half marathon for yesterday. Now, they did announce there was a lot of rain in Walt Disney World yesterday. So before the race actually even started, they actually shortened it. I believe a lot of people said that it was like 7 mile, around the 7 mile marker, instead of the 13.1. And that's because there was cause for lightning. And so, of course, safety of the guests and everything like that. Hey, Ghost. I am trying something different. Basically talking theme parks, and just started talking about RunDisney, which they just did the RunDisney Walt Disney World Marathon this weekend, which some of my friends did. So I just started talking about that until people came in and wanted to ask questions or just chat. So that's basically kind of what I've been doing in here. Like I said, trying something different and seeing how this goes. So thanks for popping in. I don't know if you saw, but Thomas is actually playing games on his channel. So, but what I've got here is the half marathon that people ran or were supposed to run yesterday, but because of the rain, it basically got cut in half. Like I said, they did about 7 miles. But what it was supposed to do was start over here in Epcot, get on the road, and actually take the road all the way over to Magic Kingdom. And you actually went into Magic Kingdom. You can actually see here with this highlighted map. So you go into Magic Kingdom, you exit out. This is actually in, like, around Adventureland, right by, well, I guess what was Splash Mountain. And then you go out past Grand Floridian, down the road, back into Epcot, and then you finish on the other side. So this is actually, you really don't go into Epcot a lot for the half. I do know, because all the races start and stop in Epcot right now. So I do know that the runners yesterday did get to go into Epcot. I don't know how much of Magic Kingdom, or if any of Magic Kingdom, they got into. I haven't yet talked to my friend who did all 4 races this past weekend. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing in here. This, of course, was the race for today. And, of course, going to cover all 4 parks with the marathon, because we're now talking 26.2 miles. Again, you start in Epcot. You go into Epcot. And you go around World Showcase, go out into Magic Kingdom, and back onto the road. Now, this is one thing that like always kind of not freaked me out, but this is kind of also where all the races would get a little tight with the crowds. Whenever you're on the roads and you're not in the parks, whenever I did these races, like I said, I have done 10Ks where we're on the road. 5Ks, you're pretty much in the park. But it does get a little tight here. And of course, you've got to stay within the cones because this is roads that have been marked off. But eventually, people do need to ride on these roads. So, but yeah, going through the roads, you do go to Animal Kingdom. And of course, back out. And then you go into Hollywood. And through Hollywood to Boardwalk. And then looks like you go back into Epcot, and you finish in the Epcot parking lot. So one cool thing with the marathons is you get to run all 4 parks. As far as I know, anybody that ran this morning did get to run in all 4 parks. So yeah, I thought that was kind of fun. I came in to talk parks and got on a tangent about RunDisney. But I mean, I love RunDisney. If anybody is a runner and loves Disney, this is something I highly, highly recommend. I know that Dollywood actually did a 5K in November as well. So, and I know Universal has done some. I want to say SeaWorld has done some as well. So I feel like a lot of theme parks are getting into the 5K mode. I do live here in North Carolina, which my local park is Carowinds. I have done a 5K through Carowinds. That was not like a Carowinds run thing. This was also many years ago. It was actually for a charity for juvenile diabetes. So, yeah. So any RunDisney racers are now getting prepared for the next one, which is next month, the Princess Half Marathon Weekend. This, of course, is not going to be as challenging, even though there is still a challenge. It's a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon, which, as you can see, if you do all 3 of those, you've done 19.3 miles, and you do the Fairy Tale Challenge. This is, of course, the artwork. I'm not a fan of this artwork. It seems a little, I mean, I don't want to like, bash an artist, but it seems a little bland. So, but then of course after Princess is Springtime Surprise, which we kind of already talked about. They're doing Embrace the Adventure as the theme this year. Like I said, last year was Pixar. The year before that, I think really was just like some of the most popular races that they don't currently do. Because that was the one that I did where we had the Everest 5K and Animal Kingdom at night. I'm trying to look at my medals. I don't remember what the name of the 10K was. But yeah, I mean, RunDisney is super fun. Highly recommend it. And a big thing is they are finally back in Disneyland. This, I guess weekend, yeah, Thursday is the Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend. And one kind of cool thing to kind of add on top of all the other medals that you can get doing a RunDisney Marathon and a challenge is if you do a Disney World race and a Disneyland race within the same season, it's called, you do a Castle to Castle challenge, which is super cool. I actually have a friend of mine who is about to do that. She, like I said, just did this race this past weekend and is about to Um, head over to Disneyland, and I'm actually looking to see if they did not post that sucks. They did not post the medals for the Castle to Castle challenge. But let's see. Okay. So this is the track if you do a Castle to Castle challenge. So like I said, if you did, which, so they kind of changed it. Track 1 is you do, either the half marathon this past weekend, or the full marathon this past weekend. And then you will do the Disneyland marathon. Or you can do, like, they make this look, basically, you do one of the races, and you do another one over in the other parks. You get it. Yeah, they make this sound like so confusing. This is probably what most people are doing, is they just finished up this weekend and either did the half marathon or the full marathon, or they did Adobe Challenge and did both. And then they are about to head over to Disneyland to do the half marathon over there. I know a lot of people will probably, if it's like the opposite, they're going to do the Disneyland marathon, they're going to do one of the other races this year, either Princess, Springtime, or Wine and Dine. Disneyland is also doing a Halloween half marathon, so again, you can do the Walt Disney World one, which you can do the marathon, Princess, Springtime, and then you can do the Halloween one. Like, yeah, they make this look so confusing, and the website is not showing you the medal, but there is like a completely separate medal that you would get. So, and then of course there are virtual. You can do any of the Run Disney races virtually. Like the one that just passed, you can do that one virtually. It's a little bit cheaper than, of course, doing it in person. This one just ended. They did the 12 Ks of Christmas. And of course, I don't know, because it just ended. They're not going to show the medals, but the medals are actually really cute because you could also use them as ornaments on your tree, which I thought was really cute. They always do a summer run. This year is going to be celebrating Disney 100, which is a big Disney thing. This year featuring Mickeys throughout the years. I'm actually pretty excited about seeing this one. This might end up being the Run Disney race that I do this year. I usually try not to do virtual ones just because if I'm paying all this money, I want to see the characters. I want to run through the parks. I want that Run Disney experience. And unfortunately, the virtual ones, you're unable to get it because you are virtual. So this might be, the virtual might be what I end up doing this year. Because like I said, I do at least one Run Disney race a year. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to make it to the parks this year to do an in-person race. So, but yeah, that is Run Disney in kind of a nutshell. And of course they have already, you can see on the front page, they've already announced the dates for 2025, which is great. yeah, like looking at the days, I think I'm going to miss races. So, oh well. Um, but yeah, big shout out to Run Disney Racers this weekend. That was definitely the huge thing going on right now. Another big thing is, of course, the holidays are over. A lot of the seasonal parks are, I guess, for the most part, closed. Because, you know, they're in areas where it's just too cold to be running. Obviously, Orlando and California, places like that, are going to be year-round operations. But I know my local park, Carowinds, is pretty much closed for the season. They were doing weekend at one point, and this year they stopped. And of course, like, the big news that I'm waiting for is Carowinds, King's Dominion, Cedar Park are all owned by Cedar Fair, which of course owns a lot of different parks. They are combining with Six Flags. I don't remember if it was like Cedar Fair bought Six Flags or if Six Flags bought Cedar Fair. But not a lot has been said about this merger yet. This merger was announced in November. So yeah, Cedar Fair and Six Flags are to combine, which is a lot. So I've got this pulled up. Gonna put it up in here. This is from Cedar Fair's corporate site. 42 parks, 9 resorts in 17 states, including Canada and Mexico. 42 parks. That's good. That's a lot. And that is actually really exciting to see what they're going to do with combining those companies, those parks. It's going to be interesting to see what that does to the parks. I know Six Flags was really known for their I think Looney Tunes is like the kids I think that's the kids like characters. I could be completely wrong. It's been a while since I have been to a Six Flags, and when I went, I think it's Looney Tunes. When I went, it was Looney Tunes, and I went to the one in Georgia. So you've got Looney Tunes in Six Flags, and Cedar Fair has Peanuts. So you've got Snoopy, Charlie Brown, all of that. So I'm actually kind of interested in who, like, do those character companies, those character brands, are they going to stay at those parks, or is there going to be a different brand that is going to be in the parks, or is one brand going to win? Like, you know, basically what cartoons are going to win in this epic battle. So that'll be interesting to see. I do hope that for the smaller parks, it does help them. Also, as like a theme park person, I would love to see like a pass that is going to let me go to all of the parks. Because I am not that far. Like, I could go to King's Dominion, which is in Virginia. I can go to Six Flags over Georgia, right outside of Atlanta. Be kind of nice to have an annual park that can let me go to all of those, since they're within a decent distance that I could totally do like a weekend trip there. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see what this merger is going to bring to these parks. Because I think this announcement even says that it is going to make it like one of the top park, amusement park operators. So we'll definitely see what's going to happen with that. So yeah. I'm trying to think like what else is coming up. As far as like I said, with the smaller parks, Carowinds, Six Flags, Kings Dominion, so all the Cedar Fair and Six Flags parks. Now that the holidays are over, I know they are all pretty much closed. They're not going to open until sometime in March. I'm sure all the dates are going to vary depending on the areas. So I feel like now is the time that they're basically going to be doing their brainstorming and they're merging while the parks are closed and they can make those decisions. So I feel like in like February, I feel like we might get some news about that. So that'll be interesting. Of course, Walt Disney World, SeaWorld, Universal, Dollywood, those parks are still up and running and open, which is really nice. Dollywood just opened up a new resort towards the end of 2023. Looks like a beautiful resort that I got to see pictures and videos of. Really looking forward to a chance to seeing it in person. Universal, their Epic Universe, which is 2025, and we're already talking about it. We've been talking about it since the day they announced it. The videos I've seen of that construction looks amazing, with a How to Train Your Dragon land, with another Wizarding World park. The rumors are that this is going to be like the French Ministry of Magic. So that'll be really cool to see. I really do hope that we get some kind of Super Nintendo World. That would be even better. Of course, Walt Disney World, or not, Universal has also announced 2 new resorts that are also going to be opening up. I want to say in 2025. I know I did do the announcement on it. I'm telling you guys, sometimes it is hard to keep track. Yeah, coming in 2025. And they're actually really cool. You can't really tell because these are artist renderings. But the outside, whatever that material is supposed to like shine and kind of like change. Like if you move a certain way or you're driving around a certain corner, it's supposed to kind of change and move in color. Like holographic is the best way I can describe it. So that'll be really, really cool to see. So, but that again is 2025. So Universal is going to be coming big in 2025, which is kind of weird that I'm talking about 2025 when it's literally just January 2024. But that's the cool thing with parks is there's always something down the pipeline. So that being said, I think what I'm going to try to do is, like I said, weekly, once a month, maybe twice a month, I'll try to figure out the schedule, is come on live and just kind of talk about any news and any different things that have come to the parks. And of course, I say the parks because I'm not just going to talk about Walt Disney World. I'm not just going to talk about Universal. I'm here to talk about all of the parks. I am, of course, in North Carolina, so of course, East Coast parks are what I know a little bit more about. But if you ever pop on here and you have questions about the West Coast parks, I am happy to talk about them, happy to answer them. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. Thank you, everybody that is joining in, that is watched, even after I'm live. I greatly appreciate you guys coming in and watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Check out my other videos. And feel free to put in the comments any questions that you might have. I am more than happy to answer them in my next videos. Or just shoot me an email, dreamfindingparks@gmail.com. And happy to do a video and discuss your questions. All right, guys. Until next time, have a magical night. Akuna Matata.